Now all of the rough material or blending to equalize the bowls is all done, our first pickup point. Now what I want to show you, I think I can get in here a little bit closer than that. Alright. Remember, you gotta hit your pickup point in the same spot. Now looky there. That's about identical. That's about 300 to 400 down. Now if I want to go down in here further and try to pick up on the bowl, I'll go down here, find me a go, no go part, which is damn near identical. Alright, so just for you math guys, that ended up being 1/400. Now I do mean that is the limit. Now you figure, okay, I've got a 1/400 window and I got a 1/60 valve. Remember, we was trying to get that 200 spread before the measurement. Golly, it was 1/250, and that was with me opening them up with that 60-degree angle. So it was probably closer to 1/200 or 1/220, and that's just horrible. I mean, there's no way it could even come close to using a 1/600 valve. It was barely using a 1/500. So now he's got a real 1/60 valve throat diameter and valve to make this head work. But I mean to tell you, took years of sonic checking and figuring this out, because you go in here and play with this too much, and what I mean to tell you, it'll get you. You'll bust through. So we're going to do just a touch of sonicking just so you can see my point when we're done. But now pickup point 1 is done. Let's move on to pickup point 2. Here we are at pickup point 2, which is the seat to the roof. I'm just going to go in there and you know, like I told you before, I'm not trying to get exact to the thousandths. I mean, if I get it within 5 or 6 thousandths where I get a pass through, then, you know, I feel that I've done pretty good. Right now what I'm looking for is about a 1.5 inch distance from the roof to the top. That's quite an improvement, considering that before I started it was like a 1/280 or some crazy thing like that. So that right there is giving us room for the high lift flow to go in there and, you know, do its job. So basically it works just kind of like this. I've already been gnawing some on this one. I've just about got that one to pass a little more, but here, look, it blocks me solid. So I'm going to go in there with my egg. Notice how I go in, I hit the area that I'm working, I'm going to pull back ever so easy. I don't go all the way back very often, but I try to concentrate right there. I'll get a few passes and then go back in here and look at there. Alright, I've about got that one right there, right where it needs to be. That's just beautiful. Now I gotta go over here. I'll have to do a little bit of digging on this one. So let's go in there and hit it. Let me try to pull you in. That's about as far as I can do before it's going to blurt out on you. A little bit closer. Anyway, it's just a little time consuming on that point. I'm going to finish now and hit the roofs, and then our last point's going to be the push rod area. Then, hold on a minute. sorry about the noise. But anyway, it's at this point I'll do the little bit of finishing, get my measurement where they're all the same over the short turn. Then I'll come here, hit the entrances. Now once that's complete, I have to go back and take my stones and retouch over the area that I ground, mainly on the exhaust side, and then polish it back out where it was before I started. I know y'all saying, why, you're having to go back over and do it again? Well, if you're looking for consistency, there's no better way to do it. These heads would have went a lot faster if I didn't have to go in and correct somebody's work where they had already went in there and done it. I mean, hell, you seen the valve guides, you seen how they done the valve job itself, and on the inside, basically they done nothing at all except to take the casting lines out of the head. But in doing so, they did grind some on the exhaust. I have to find where I pick up at and refine my instant center on the head, because you just don't, when you're grinding one to this far, you got to be really careful. So anyway, I'm going to finish this part up and I'm going to show you when I stone it and when I blend it. Then at that point, the ports, valve job guides, everything's done, and we got a couple of little things left we got to do, and we're going to CC a runner volume. I got a good feeling about this. I don't know why, but I think I'm going to maybe end up with a touch more than what I'd originally planned, but I would have done it in the area that made the difference on velocity and speed instead of just widening the push rod area to get raw volume in it. All right, let's get back on here. We'll turn this back on when we're done. Now to the last part of the pickup points, which for this, on the entrances, and I do this to make it try to look uniform and straight, is I use my old favorite, my finger. Because with this, I can, smooth out some of the ruffles and ridges on the entrance, try to get it a little bit straightened out, go in the corners pretty good. But, see, I've got this set, and I'm going to go in there and hit every one of them. Well, I got a little bitty part right here to see how easy I got that one going through. Well, it looks like I got a little bit right here from about here to there. So let's try to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to have to do this through the camera, of course, so my hands don't get in the way. I'm going to work on that area right there. Notice how I'm not going high on it. I'm just hitting it right there. See, it's starting to go through now. I'm all the way to here. I got to touch this area right there. There's one thing about the finger. It really blends it in really nice. Wow, I just got that little bit of rise right there. But that's sometimes what it takes. You just got to sit there and gnaw on it. Another thing about the finger is it'll take the high spot down. If you can find where it's at, and then you chew on it a little bit, you're going to see it as you're grinding it. There we go. That's it. All the way to the top. Alright, so I pretty much saved that for last. They're all really right there. We'll go on over here to that side just so you can see. Because that right there is what it takes. Pow, 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 pow. I mean, it's just all the instances are consistent. Now comes the final part. I'm going to use this and just kind of touch up inside the port, go over it, And then I'm going to turn the head around, and we're going to go into the stoning part now, because guess what? For all practical purposes, all the porting's done, valve job's done, guide's done, all that. So the only thing I got to do right now is go in there with my stone and touch the exhaust where I had to reopen that up and kind of close it up with a sanding roll. And then we're going to get ready to do the final bit of the head prep, which is cleaning up the head bolt holes, and then we're going to CC a runner and pressure test the head. All right.